we're on what?
Day 3.
Whew.
Yeah. This will be, because last time we were on.
Oh wait, let me eat.
I've got very little in mind. Last time we.
You want some more?
No, it's okay. Last
Okay,
time.
just
No,
some.
no, no, it's okay. It's all right. We'll do this and then.
Okay.
Okay. Last time we were on a water fast, we only actually were able to do 3 days, and it was very difficult.
Yeah, it was hard.
It was
It was
hard.
definitely harder. I don't know. It's just a state of mind that you have to get into in order to do these things, and you got to realize that fasting isn't really about losing weight. It's about losing so much more
Oh gosh.
than that. You know.
It's a spiritual thing. It's releasing emotions, going into your deeper, darkest places, resolving past issues,
Yeah.
getting to know yourself a lot more. Your mind is not occupied with digesting food and other issues, because digestion takes a lot.
It does.
takes
It
a lot
really
out of you.
does.
And worrying about what you're going to eat and all that stuff. So when you eliminate all that, it's just you. It's bare bones.
It's you and water.
And I don't think we've been drinking a heck of a lot of water. I mean,
No, I mean we haven't been drinking a gallon or anything like that, and I don't know. Are we drinking too little?
no, not really, because people do dry fasting as well, and dry fasting is like mega sized fasting.
Yeah.
But you do need to hydrate yourself some. I'm sure that one day we'll do a dry fast. I think a 3-day dry fast is like equivalent to a week of water
Whoa.
fasting.
That's pretty hardcore.
It's hardcore. But hey, water fasting is the creme of the creme. I mean, that's and I've been watching a lot of videos and really.
Oh yeah, you have.
Because I enjoy that. I enjoy learning more
Yeah.
and more and seeing what other people go through, so that you don't become alarmed. I mean,
But I don't like it when you show fruit and vegetables being eaten and people talking about how they're going to break their fast for the first time in 15 days by eating a slice of watermelon. And I'm like,
well, see, I can handle that because I know that's the light at the end of the tunnel, and I know that I will get there whether we decide to do 7 days, 10
what will it
days.
be? What do you think
14.
we'll break it with?
Um,
I know we've broken it with oranges before.
yeah, you always have to. I would do some juice, especially. Remember, this is going to be a longer fast, so the digestive system is going to be pretty shut down.
So
it's
when
probably,
we hit day 40, what'll happen?
I don't know if we'll hit day 40. I'm shooting between anywhere from 10 to 14. I'll be happy with that. If we go longer, great. If we go 21 days, you're going to break the fast with orange juice.
And peanuts.
No peanuts. No.
No?
No.
Oh,
We will never eat peanuts again.
never.
Never. Peanuts is very toxic,
Mm.
and we want to stay low fat. That's
Yeah,
the
no,
key.
I was just saying something that's going to really cause chaos in the gut,
Yeah.
and that would be peanuts.
Yeah, that would just be horrific. You don't ever want to break a fast with any type of nuts or any type of fat. You don't even want to break a fast with greens because it does take the body, a lot to break down those greens. Like kale, for instance, is wonderful, but you have to have digestive enzymes to break that or you're in trouble. So watery fruits, melon, oranges. You start off, the best way to break a fast is with orange juice, where you start developing the enzymes and the acids in your stomach because they're gone.
I'm just thinking that I want a piece of watermelon. That would be really cool.
That's a good one to break
Isn't
the
that a good
fast
one?
with. Strawberries are good too. But again, you want to create the acidity in your stomach. So that's why
watermelon
orange
isn't
juice.
really acidity.
No, it's oranges first. For the first couple of days, you should just eat oranges, and then
I can do that.
and then go into watermelon the next day, and then you could add the greens. I'm looking forward to all the great recipes.
Oh
that
my
I'll put
gosh,
together.
there's so many good things out there. And living in South Florida, we're like, this is like fruit heaven.
Oh, I know.
You know,
I'm looking
it's-
forward to how I've really got nitty gritty into the raw vegan lifestyle. I've learned so many things. We got to buy a juicer. We got to buy a dehydrator. We got to buy a blender
Yeah.
and a food processor because you can make so many sauces
Wow.
with fruits I mean,
And you're just gonna come up with all kinds of ideas, I'm
oh,
sure.
sure. And we probably could start making some sort of videos and teaching people.
Yeah, show people how to, you know, eat in a healthier manner, you know, because there's so many opportunities, so many different ways of doing it. I mean, it's not like you're just gonna have to eat fruit and vegetables. I mean, it's just how you can dehydrate the fruit, you know,
which is
to
not
make it into
it's not the greatest thing to do. I mean, when at first you want to like really do just the fruit,
right.
you
But
know,
I mean,
when you get
afterwards,
bored and you want to, you know, you create different sauces and different things. Desserts, you can even make raw vegan pizzas by dehydrating with flax seeds and whatever. But we always have to remember to keep it low fat. That was my biggest success when I was raw fat 80-10-10, like Dr. Graham, Doug Graham. You know, that's the best. When people claim to be raw vegan and they're eating high fats, they get sick. And then actually their immune system starts to attack them because you cannot put so much fat in your body and eating that high amount of fruits.
right?
That's
So,
where you get yourself into trouble.
so avocados are still.
You could have avocado. I mean, that was the only fat that I really did. I used to have like a half of a Haas. What is it called, Haas?
Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kept it very low. And I dropped down. My body fat must have been like 1% or 2%.
But not the half of a Florida one.
No, that's too much. Really,
Have you ever seen those big ones in
They're
Florida?
huge.
They are like
Huge.
5 or 6 Haas avocados.
You would take just like a slice of that and put it in your salad,
Yeah.
or I would make an avocado dressing.
They're so
Oh,
creamy.
they are. For dressings,
I honestly think that they taste better
than the Haas.
than the Haas
Yeah.
avocados. The
They're
Haas are
creamier.
so small.
Yeah, they're creamier, the bigger ones, and you can make tremendous dressings with it. Tremendous. I mean, it's just. I'm looking forward to like getting back into
I mean,
that.
I'm just really like excited about what's going to happen. You know, it's like, you know, we're fasting, we're obviously, yeah, we're hungry or whatever, or I don't know if you are or not.
Last night was my
anymore.
worst night. Last night when we came back from the beach and I took a shower, I just like literally had no energy. I just popped myself on our recliner here, and I was just like, I can't. When we were watching something, I'm like, oh my God, I kept thinking of all these foods. And when watching the L Word and they were eating and drinking, I'm like, I could sure use an alcoholic beverage right now and some food, but I managed to like calm the brain down and say, look, the benefits of what you're doing is going to outweigh all this instant gratification, because that's all it is.
You know, I wasn't really there with you at that moment. I wasn't like, oh, craving any food at all. I was just craving energy. And, you know, being at the point where there just wasn't any energy. And today I've been walking around kind of mopey, kind of tired, you know, and I'm waiting for ketosis to kick in. We both had enemas today,
Yes.
which is very important and beneficial to anyone, really. I mean, if you fast or not, you know, but fasting, since we haven't had any solid foods for, 3 days now, it's going to be more beneficial to us because the body is starting to really not be able to process any more food, and it's starting to slow down. And,
Right,
you know,
and all the toxins are being released into your intestines, into your bloodstream. So you don't want to put so much strain in your body. So by doing an enema, it alleviates that. I mean, I felt right after I did the enema, because I was having all these pains on my right side because the hysterectomy and appendectomy that I had, and I have a lot of scar tissue here. Well, last night I started feeling a lot of pain. And the night before also, you know, it's just the pain was exacerbated because the body's going in there to try to heal itself. So toxins are being released from old injuries, so you have to do enemas.
and my neck is starting, you know, it feels that tightness that, you know, is from that accident and the injuries that I had. And I'm starting to get some of that tingling sensation that I had
On the initial fast
earlier
yeah.
last year when I first did water fast. It was like this electrical kind of current that was going through my entire body, and I can feel it to a certain extent, a little bit, not nearly as much as it
Right,
was
but that's because
before.
the body's going back, and obviously you get a lot of healing the first couple of fasts
Yeah.
that we did. Because every time you fast, you heal something more. And the longer you fast, I mean, a 40-day fast is the ultimate.
It's like the ultimate reset,
Yeah.
the ultimate type of scalpel-less surgery that you can do,
Yeah. So,
and just letting the body do its thing, kind of like resets itself, and not only resets itself, but creates itself.
right.
It's like it's recreating itself inside of you.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, the things, and it's not all about weight loss. You do lose weight, and you do lose a lot of fat. You will gain. Let's say you lose 30 pounds, you probably gain 10 pounds back. It all depends on how you break your fast and the way you eat afterwards. You can't go back to eating burgers and fries and chips and things of that nature. You have to eat raw, healthy foods, or at least vegan foods.
But your body's taste buds really change.
Oh, they do.
It's like before I couldn't palate a vegetable. I mean, I liked salad in the past and tomatoes maybe, but eating a raw like piece of zucchini or a carrot and stuff was just like the grossest thing to me. And now it's like I'll eat anything.
Right, because we've done like 3 or 4 fasts together, and the first couple ones that you did, as I remember, I would feed you some vegetables. You would look at me like, "What the hell is this?"
At first, broccoli. Remember the broccoli?
And I'm like, "This. You want to heal your neck? You got to do this kind of stuff." And sure enough, after the fast, you just started like taking it all in and liking it.
Yeah, I mean, you put anything in the kitchen sink inside our salads and stuff, and I don't balk at any of it.
And it tastes good because your taste buds change dramatically.
They do. They really do.
Fasting will change your life. Eating a diet with a lot of raw fruits and vegetables will change your life. There's a lot of meat alternatives that are made out of grains, soy, things of that nature that taste pretty good, and
they do. They really do.
So, it's good for the planet, good for the animals, and good for you. I mean, it's...
Well, you said that you don't do it to lose weight, but you do diet. I mean, you do have times of fasting in your life in order to lose emotional weight that you've been carrying for maybe a lifetime. I know that through this fast, I'm going to be able to lose lots of emotional weight that I've carried, put on, so to speak, like weight gain, literal, fat weight gain in emotions and stuff. I mean, you collect this stuff as you're a little kid growing up, as you get older. I mean, traumatic things that happen to your life, and I've had plenty, and I'm sure you have too.
Yeah, I have too.
So you did it a long time ago. But
I did my first fast was doing a 14-day master cleanse. That was the first time I ever fasted, and I started feeling really sick after my rotator cuff tear surgery. I started feeling lymph gland nodes that were swollen under my armpits. I felt something was wrong with my body, and I stopped taking testosterone. And I started watching video, and I'm like, you know what? I need to do this raw vegan stuff. I really do. President Clinton actually inspired me when I saw something. He had heart condition, and he reversed it with diet, but just eating vegan foods and a lot of raw foods. And I said to myself, this is what I need to do. My inner voice spoke to me. And I did a 14-day cleanse, and it was amazing. I mean, spiritually, my mind, everything changed about me. It was like another person, and then becoming a raw vegan, that just totally, I mean, you watch some of my old videos here when my raw vegan lifestyle, and it's just, I can't explain, I mean, how wonderful the connection that you feel to source, to everything around you, the garden that I was growing, and I ran 7 miles every day, and after running, I would go tend to my gardens. I wouldn't put food in my mouth till like 12 or 1 o'clock. I wasn't hungry.
I used to run too, like 10 miles a day, and then end it by going to DQ or something.
That's crazy. It's almost like you're hurting yourself by doing that. You really are.
Because you think, that you can put whatever it is you want into your body as long as you're working out, but that's not how it works.
You're harming yourself worse when you do that, because you're putting your body through so much stress, because running is very stressful.
Yeah,
so you need to replenish, and the fruitarian runner guy, I mean, he eats pounds and pounds of fruit.
Yeah.
Lots of fruit. And you have to eat greens, because green alkalinizes you. But when you eat a lot of fruit like that, you can't eat a lot of fat. You have to keep it at 10% of your calorie
Right, because it's
intake.
very sugary.
Yeah, and then what happens is you start having problems. So people that are raw vegan, that are eating high fats, don't feel as good as the raw vegans that are high fruit, low fat.
But I think that, more important than anything else is like we were talking about cleansing ourselves out from the inside, and it has nothing to do with food.
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with weight.
yeah,
It has to do with ourselves and becoming better people, and yesterday we were at the beach because I've been recovering still from this ringworm thing that afflicted me from a bad trip to a hair salon, and I'm feeling much better, by the way. Not nearly in as much discomfort and pain. I mean, literally, whenever you would like try to, help me out by putting that concoction of
that I
pizza,
created it.
oils
Yeah.
and sauces and
It was just
herbs and spices
It was
and things.
coconut oil, oil of oregano, garlic, lime. What else did I put in there? Lime, oregano. Yeah, and it was just like a pizza smelling thing. I mean, it feels like you could eat it. And one thing I love about all that is stuff that you can actually ingest. And sea salt. Sea salt is just like a exfoliator or whatever to get all those dead skins out so the fungus dies. And I know there was a thing about, well, tea tree oil is better, but you can't drink tea tree oil. You can't ingest it. So that tells me that, something that you can ingest can be as good as something that is organic in your body.
Well, I think that everything has its purpose.
It does.
So, I mean, we're talking about there's a purpose for tea tree oil because it
does.
was way better at providing me with a sense of cooling and a sense of relief when I put it on. It would cool my face. And it's used a lot in skin infections and things like that.
To kill the fungus, you need to and then we did some papaya as well.
Yeah, papaya slices.
I mean, we've tried, all these different things for different stages of this whole.
Yeah, the vitamin that's found, or an enzyme in papaya that's found in it, it's called papain.
Yeah.
And it supposedly does a real number on fungus and stuff like that, because I mean, there's so many solutions in nature, and one of the other solutions that we've been really trying to take advantage of while we live, not too far from the ocean, is good old seawater and the sun. What has that done? It's allowed me to get into really high saltwater content, by going into the ocean and soaking my head in the water and just, hanging out there for a while, enjoying the water and the temperatures of the beach and everything, and then getting out and letting it bake and dry my skin. And, the ocean is a great rejuvenator. So we're really excited about, the potential that we have right here in our own backyard, here in South Florida.
And talk a little bit more about the ceremonial thing that we did to help release some,
Well, those are things that have a lot of importance, and the ramifications of it for both of us are that, we went out to the ocean yesterday and brought two things that each of us held on to from our past lives. For Mark, it was a piece of
it was a lock,
a combination lock that he's had forever.
When I was Maritza and I was working at Memorial Hospital as a rehab tech, and we had lockers and we put our stuff in there. I've had that.
And we used that lock to put all the things that had fallen down in the mountain and stuff that people had been able to recover and whatnot, and we stored in a storage locker for a while. So that had some, real symbolic meaning to us both. And then I got something that I had in my backpack from the days that I was working as a camera operator, just a little metal piece of something that was utilized a lot by me whenever I was doing video shoots and things like that. So it ties to my old self, and it had ties to me. And we went out to the ocean and we did a send-off ceremony to both Paul, which was my person that I lived as for several years, and you did yours as Maritza, as the woman that you lived as for 38 years. So we had to let go because we realized that this jumping in and back out and in and back out, mostly me because of all the things that I've had to deal with my ex and with my children, that were causing Paul to have to show up again after I had really, as Lena, I had pretty much buried Paul in the past, but I can't continue to live as Lena completely unless I give up all of what Paul was.
And what caused Maritza to come out was Paul. I was demasculinized many times by you as Paul.
And I'm sorry.
And it
really
just created this, never in my 13 years of transition that I ever once questioned who I was. I mean, my ex-wife, Violet, could tell you. I mean, it's like when she heard of all this transition, she was like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm sure that Jessica would probably be going, what?
Flipping out.
And it was because you demasculinized me in so many ways. And,
But you gotta understand that. I wasn't, purposely trying to hurt you in any way. I mean, I'm coming off of this terrible accident. I'm trying to revisit what it is and who I am and everything. And, just struggling through a recovery physically and emotionally traumatic from, losing my children first and then, ending another marriage and
I'm
all
not
this other
blaming you,
stuff.
and I'm not regretful that it happened. I mean, I got to retouch who I was and that person that, I thought that's what you wanted out of me because you kept talking to your mother about this, me referring to me as a woman and,
Well, I was giving my parents, my mother, who's my only parent living, that opportunity to reconnect, but, realizing that that was something that you were doing at a great cost to you personally, and that you would love me so much to want to give that part of you up, that you would be willing to go back to being and living as a woman again was like, for me it was like, wait a minute, that's too much, but then all the signs that I was feeding you was like
mixed messages.
But I never wanted to do transition, I mean, initially.
And that's why I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing all this, but then in reality she's not, so what for?
Well, because you were like, back in May, you were like, okay, I'm coming off of T. Are you going to come off of E eventually? Because eventually you're going to have to as well.
I'm doing all the sacrificing.
That's
so that's why we came to the conclusion. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do it right. No more Maritza. No more Paul.
Right.
I mean, you can't have your foot on both worlds. You can't.
You really can't.
You really can't.
It's
just, and I can because I'm two-spirited and I'm easily able to do that, but
not successfully with me.
Right.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
Because
you are not there. I mean, I've done this for 13 years, and I could have done Maritza, although I prefer Mark all the way. This is who I feel comfortable as. Even as a teenager, although I didn't call myself Mark, I had a very male persona. And
well, you had a male persona all throughout last year. I mean, it's not like Maritza came out and became this feminine.
There's no.
I mean, and your sister probably can attest to that too. It's like, when you first came, when we first got out to Florida back in December, it was like, I accepted you. Your sister said, I accepted you as Mark. I love you either way. And
people are just having a hard time because here I am saying I'm Maritza, her sister, and I was just like showing this real male persona that I am.
And we talked about all the things that you could do and stuff, but when push came to shove and we got out here, we needed Mark. And that's...
Well, it's not so much because my sister said the other day she didn't like when I said that we needed Mark, because Maritza probably could have handled many things. It's just that it felt natural as your husband and you as my wife to get, the apartments and then whatever. Just I've been doing this for so long that I am so out of touch
Right.
with Maritza. And although, you know, I could bring her up for the show, but when it came down to brass tacks, I couldn't live as Maritza 24/7 because this is wham.
I mean, even if you wanted to, you wouldn't want to
No,
because it's just not you.
it's not. It doesn't occur naturally. You know.
So anyway, we went out into the ocean and we did a little ceremony where we basically committed those two people out to sea.
Yep.
So
We gave him a sea burial.
we threw them out along with, you know, the two items, and
Hopefully the lock
You
didn't
know.
hit any fish in the head or anything like that.
well, remember that one girl that was scared about going in the water because
She saw fish.
she saw a fish.
Like,
It's like you go to the ocean, you go to the beach.
you're gonna see fish.
That's where they live, people.
But our youth today is so out of touch with
Yeah,
nature
yeah.
and what they don't even know where their food comes from. They know they buy it at the grocery store.
Right.
That's about it. But they don't realize, you know, it's pretty sad.
So yeah, we were so excited to do that and finally just, you know, have me especially let go of expectations that people have of me as a dad or as a husband and all that stuff. How can I be that when I'm this man's wife? It's not possible. You can't play both roles. You have to be one or the other. And the other was for a different time and a different place. And this is for now. And this is who we are. And this is how we met, and this is how we will live. So if my children ever want to be in my life, they will have to be in my life with knowing that I am this man's wife and that he is my husband and that they have a stepdad, you know. And you know, I said that Lena has no children, and people got offended on Facebook and stuff saying, how dare you say that, you know, because Lena has children, and you know, and oh, they're gonna listen to this video and watch it. Well, you know, my children know me as the person that I used to be, but they don't know the person that I am now.
And they're not willing to know that.
They're not willing
That's
to.
the key. You know,
And-
everybody has opinion. That's one thing, you know, we're very open in everything we say and we do. And, you know, everyone's entitled to opinions. But you have to realize that your opinions are yours. Okay? And you think a certain way, you feel a certain way, we feel and we think differently. We're putting our lives here for you guys to watch. Some of you will learn something, but it's not okay for you guys to criticize. Because we don't want to hear your criticism. You know? We don't. We're living our lives the best way that we can live. And, you know, like, when I'm talking about the water fast and some of the parts, and like on Facebook, I put some links and whatever, and people, well, I can't do that. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just sharing my life. She's sharing her life and what we're doing. It doesn't mean we want you to do it. You don't have to feel guilty that you can't do a water fast.
Yeah, it's really not a matter of of you. It's a matter of us just sharing our lives,
Yeah.
and if it can benefit someone,
Great.
if someone wants to take the water fast challenge, then you're more than welcome to, or a juice fast, or any other kind of fast out there, which is able to reset and reinvigorate the body.
And if Lena wants to say that her children don't know Lena, and Lena has no children, that is her life, her feeling. How dare you impose on what you believe or what you think? It's not your life. It's her life.
And
our life.
And it's not like Lena doesn't want to have children. Lena, I do, you know, but Mark wants to have stepchildren as well. And we're waiting. We're waiting as a couple. We're waiting for them to make the decision to allow themselves to open up to us as a couple.
And you don't know the psyche, the guilt that this woman has been living with because of the guilt her ex-wife gives her, about the guilt that she feels about her kids. So if it is her way of coping, then that is her way of coping. How dare you intervene or try to put your 2 cents in? You don't live with this woman 24/7 like I do. And you don't know what she has gone through. So if this is her therapy, this is what she can do to deal and to not feel guilt, remorse, and whatever else, and allow her to live her life as the woman that she is and the woman that she embarked on being, then so be it. You're nobody. Bottom line.
I mean, it's like everybody has an opinion, just like,
Assholes.
yeah. But the thing is, you know, when it comes down to it, it's all a matter of love and expressing love, giving love, and receiving love. And we have that in us, in our relationship. We love each other desperately. And if everything had to happen, and I know it's horrible what all that happened with the children and with former relationships and marriages and other things, I would do it all over again, honestly, you know, because this is what life is about. It's about finding purpose, finding love, finding relationship, finding your twin soul. Some people never find that twin soul. You know, they can be searching for lifetimes and they don't find it. We happen to have found that, and we happen to enjoy that life that we have together. And although life is a struggle for me right now with regards to those children and everything, I am absolutely grateful that I'm in the arms of this man at this time. You know, there's nothing else that I would rather do than to be with him. So you can call me a narcissist all you want. You want to say I don't have children, that if I say that I don't have children, that I'm being narcissistic, have at it, you know. But the reality is that Linda has no children. Linda's waiting for children. And when those children choose to show up, they're very much welcome.
And to love her for who she is, then we welcome them with open arms.
I mean, we live in a beautiful area. We'd love to have them, you know, in our lives and stuff, and enjoy what we've been able to enjoy here in South Florida. So if the kids are watching, you're more than welcome to make connections with us. You know, my email's always available. My phone number is always there. You know, so it's there for you to take advantage of. But we're going to live.
Yeah.
We're just going to live and be, and we're going to be happy.
Why do people do this? To be happy. So
We
if
do.
you can't be happy by doing this because you're living in guilt and remorse and everything else, and the remorse and guilt that the ex-wife is trying to shoot at you and the kids and all that, then it wasn't worth doing it. You might as well have stayed as the person that we buried, as Paul, you know, and have lived miserably that way.
And if it's affecting you that much, then that means you have to kill it.
Yeah, because that's
Not
the only way.
kill you, kill that person. If you're a trans woman, you have to kill the person that is feeling that pain, because the new you shouldn't feel that pain.
Right. I mean, you owe it to the new you to be happy. So the past has got to be left in the past. That's the only way to heal. That's the only way to get rid of guilt. You have to numb it. You have to turn off that switch. Bottom line.
And that's what I'm doing with this fast. I'm trying to hit the reset button on the emotional baggage that I've carried, and also just clean myself out of all of that which hindered me in the past, and come out like a new person, you know, as your wife, as the one that you want to live the rest of your life with. So,
And if not, it's going to eat you up. You know, it's going to, first you fall off a mountain, then you let this, you know, all these different things that have happened to you since you've transitioned that, you know.
I've lived under a sea of negativity for so long.
So you got to release that.
Just recently, you know, had this bout with ringworm, and I know that it's because of the negativity that I sense.
You can even
inside.
enjoy your new hair and your new whatever, because it's like guilt. And guilt creates diseases and problems and brings upon terrible things. You've got to release it. You've got to let it go. You've got to be happy. And there's nothing wrong with being happy. People are trying to make you feel like you're selfish. No, you are entitled to happiness.
Happiness is yours to take. Yeah. So we're just going to continue our fast.
Yeah. Tomorrow's day 4.
Day 4, and ketosis will kick in.
Yeah. I feel like mine's already kind of kicked in. I get a little hunger pangs every now and then, but it's I'm not as bad. After the enema today, it was like,
For me, it's like ketosis isn't about being hungry and having food, hunger pangs and stuff like that. It's more about
energy.
energy. And, you know,
I'm going to do a little meditation in a little bit, and I want to do a little energy work to bring in that energy for us.
Is that going to be before we watch a movie or after? Because it's getting late.
Well, we could do it before. This doesn't have to be long. It'll be like a 5 minute. Be 5 minutes.
Who texted?
I don't know. People are always.
Oh. So this is part of one of the things that I did. Like just today, I unfriended a family member that I had reached out to, just back in December, and they're a super Christian,
Right.
a mom, homeschooling mom, and blah blah blah. And I said, I don't want to be friends with you if you're not going to, be a benefit and be a positive influence, And I said, something like,
You may not want to share that.
well, I'm just saying, I've honestly reconsidered reasons for friending you, and the hypocrisy is just great in so many of the comments that so many of my Christian friends and family have made in the past, and I just feel like it's the same kind of animosity that people have towards, racially, inspired or something like that. And I just said, you need to look at how Jesus Christ himself treated the outcast. He went to the outcast. He hung out with the outcast, and these people, they tear people apart for being a certain way. And I recently just got a comment back, and it's like, they always want to justify themselves, and say, at first I didn't want to friend you because you're the kind of person that, we're supposed to stay away from. But I thought, well, God loves all people, so I'm going to be your friend anyway. What's it going to hurt? It's like, that's not the mentality that we need to have. We need to just accept people and love them for who they are, wherever they are, and whatever walk of life. Their Jesus was, the Jesus that I had learned about was accepting of all.
And loving, and so I don't know where Christians are following, but it's definitely not Jesus' teaching.
Not the Jesus in the Bible. I don't know, some other Jesus.
Maybe Jesus from somewhere else.
Yeah, some other guy.
Some other guy.
So anyway, we're just excited. We're ready, willing, and able right now to get on with our lives, move forward, and to make those commitments.
And most people that, talk bad about us or confront us with comments that are negative, they're just jealous. They're unable to remove guilt from their lives, and that's why they get diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, and you know who you are if you're watching. Always have to try to bring us down, and let you guys be warned. My new technique from now on is to delete all your comments and to block you. Because we don't want the negativity. We don't. Yeah, I'm going to do everything within my power to get this woman up to par, to get her old habits of looking at the dark side instead of the bright side. Because she was raised that way. From the time she was little, they placed the fear of bejesus in her, and every devil in every rock, and everything's always negative, and it's so hard to get her out of that. So sometimes I have to just, take control and say, you don't need these people in your lives.
Yeah.
Because, all it does is cause her problems. She becomes very upset, depressed. I know what I've had to deal with for the past year and a half. And enough is enough.
We're ready to move on.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on, and whatever we can do, whatever you can do to keep me from having to listen or watch any of those comments is just going to be helpful. Because I got another one of those comments from someone that had been commenting in the past, and apparently, I don't know if they're a radical feminist or something, anti-trans all the way, and just wants to remind you of your past. And it's like, it's so
But these are
sad.
tests. These are tests
So
for you.
sad.
These are tests for you. We went and we did what we did.
I know, and I said,
and it's like, but you were going to engage.
but I did. I said, and I didn't post it, but I said,
because I deleted her comments.
I
And
said,
blocked
who are
her.
you talking about? The person's dead. I don't
Yeah.
even know who you're talking about. So if you're talking about this person's dead. They no longer can contribute to the argument. So you're talking to dead air.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've rambled long enough, and
That's on a water fast.
What?
And that's on a water fast.
Oh yeah, and that's on a water fast. So I guess we are getting a little bit more ketosis going on.
Yesterday I couldn't have done this. Yesterday I hit the wall and I was today after the enema, and I think it's yesterday we overexerted or something. Walking to the ocean got very burnt, sunburned, and we all could see here pretty sunburned.
But you lost some weight. Did you lose some weight?
From 141 to I'm down to 136, and you went down from 177. I think you're down to 172.
Yeah. So I mean, the unexpected benefits of water fasting is that you do lose weight.
And the key is then when you go into ketosis, because I gained a lot of fat when I stopped tea, and we hadn't been working out and stuff like that. So
Right.
I'm looking to lose all the
Extra.
extra fat that I put on.
I can't wait.
We want to be looking hot for the summer, and healthy. Healthy is the most important.
Healthy, and to get rid of this ringworm.
It's doing.
It's dried out good.
It's all dried out now.
Yeah. So
Very good.
everything within its time. And no, I didn't use any other medical.
No. People are so
Antibiotic. They're like, jump into antibiotics.
Yeah,
you
which
need to
feeds
go
the
to a
fungus.
doctor. You
which
know, it's
gives
like,
you more complication when you use all that stupid stuff.
It's like I'm drying this thing out within less than a week of starting to do stuff, and that's all with natural remedies.
And for their stuff takes up to 2 weeks, if not longer, and then with complications, because we read a bunch of people.
And it smells.
I know, a bunch of
It's
people.
like if you use like Lotrimin, Tinactin, and
That stuff is nasty.
that stuff
It's
stinks.
nasty, and it gives you
I rather smell
a
like
dermatology disease, and you could actually get worse off. With this, all natural,
figure
you
it's
smell like a
chemical.
pizza, but
But I can eat. Wait, no, I can't
you
eat.
can't eat.
Anyway,
We're starving the thing. We're like hitting it with all different levels and
Yeah.
all natural stuff.
so
So that's it, folks.
that's all we got.
That's all, folks.
That's all we got for
That's all we
today.
have for today.
We
All right.
ran out of gas.
Love you, but remember to love yourselves.
Love yourselves too.
Good night, folks. Did it stop?